Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency research and projects as an investor. So welcome everyone, I hope you're good. This one's a good one. Please do like, subscribe, hit the bell button and leave a comment. If you want me to cover a coin, let me know, obviously. You know, I like comments. If you troll, I do give it back, don't worry. Now, let's talk about a good element of research. This is fundamental importance to how to succeed in the market, buying into investments low, selling them high, all right? First things first though, links below, Learning Crypto. I go through this in much more depth on that platform than what you get on any of my YouTube videos, just to let you know in terms of paid courses. In free premium as well, you can jump into. It's pretty awesome. So, you know, if you want to learn more, there's a card, jump on, say hello, or jump into Telegrams, whatever. I'm always available. So if you want more help, let me know. So, CoinGecko is one place you could go to. There's other alternatives, obviously. But what you need to find out is what is happening in the market. The first thing you need to know what is happening is what coins are doing okay, what have got good fundamental research development points to come out for long-term gains, really, like use case, purpose. So that's the first element of this. So let's look at one coin. We're going to pick a random coin, by the way. I don't really care. Die won't work. STEEM. Let's look at STEEM, right? Random. So this is what would happen. You'd click on it. You click on STEEM. And the one rule about investing is you've got to believe in the project. You've got to believe in it. There's no point investing in something you don't like. It's like me investing in the stock market into something that I don't ever think or use. Like, it's hard to explain. In my opinion, with cryptocurrency, you've got to believe it. You've got to believe that that is freaking awesome, or you're going to use it, in my view. Like, for me, I'm a massive believer in XRP. I hold Bitcoin and XRP, but the way I see XRP, I use it because it's fast as hell and it's cheap. So that's why I do it. I'm going to invest in that because I quite like the technology. So that gives you an insight, but STEEM's quite an interesting one, right? So, first things first, this is the website, right? It's really, really easy. It's obvious. It's quite noddy, right? There's not much to go on. But it gives you the most amount of information that you can go on. So you've got all the websites here, all the social side of it, the community side, the social code, and obviously how much you can get for your money. Easy, right? You've also got, in general, social side of it, the development side of it, all kinds of good stuff. Now, the one thing I will say about this is it tells you all kinds of information that you need to know. Like, everything that you need to know. How good it is, how big the community is, the news, all kinds of good stuff. Now, I know that STEEM has gone under a takeover recently, so it's probably the worst example I can give you. But this is a good example in a way to kind of know that maybe I don't want to invest in this. So you need to kind of do your research and find out how it all works and where, obviously, you know, all the basic stuff really. And the one thing about this is the lower the coin is, the less information you've got on the platform. I'll explain that in a second. But you need to go on the website. You need to find out what it is and get a good feel for it. Now, I know what STEEM is. It is a decentralized social network. It's alright. I've got an account on there. I've not used it in a long time. Steam it. You use Steam coins. You've got DTube as well for like alternative to YouTube. So it's okay, but it's obviously been taken over by a bit of a knobhead who is Justin son of Tron. So I would probably have that as a no investment for me personally. That's my personal game on it. But there's all kinds of information that you can find out about it, and then you obviously got steemd.com, which is essentially the Explorer blockchain, whatever you want to name it as. So you can see all the kind of stuff that's happening in the network, and you can see that it is functioning, it's moving. But ultimately, you need to do a lot more research and more than just a website. You need to get in the community. Get in the community and ask some questions and see what people think about certain things. Now, you've obviously got all this. How do you feel about Steam today? Yeah, good or bad, don't know. Price action, what's happened in the last 24 hours? Last 14 days as well will appear eventually. So is it definitely interesting to look at in terms of this. When to buy, where to buy, obviously all kinds of technical analysis, but in terms of exchanges, you've got Binance, BitHub, you've got obviously Bittrex, Upbit, Huobi, all kinds of stuff here. If you go to see all pairs, you get all of these too. So there's no places that, you know, there's no shortage of places where you can buy it. But let's have a little look at another one. Let's look at a bigger coin just so you can get an insight of further information you can get. So let's just look XRP, for example, right? Because why not? In terms of information that you are going to get on XRP, you're going to get a lot more information. You're going to get a lot more information at the bottom here, as you can see. It gives you a real good concise, but we'll go through from the top to bottom essentially. So in terms of this, again, it's the same sort of stuff. You're going to find out information in terms of the market capitalization, which is absolutely pointless in cryptocurrency, by the way, just ignore that. But it gives you kind of a metric of how big it kind of is in terms of supply. It can be artificial. Price and supply can be totally fooled. So you've got all these kind of explorers here. You've got the Ripple website. Crack on, jump on, the community numbers, all kinds of good stuff, right? When you're looking at this, obviously you've got the information, but you've obviously got down here where you can buy it. We know that. It's really, really simple. But strong buy over the technical analysis. This is embedded from TradingView, which is really good. Quite a fan of this. So obviously the market's quite bullish at the minute, but this is where the basic stuff is, where this will give you a mindset information overload of going, oh, what is it? Cool. I can understand it with YouTube videos, what it fully is, and a lot of annotations, real simple stuff before you think, how deep do I want to go with this? Now, that's the biggest problem with, you know, cryptocurrency. You can find multiple different versions of the same sort of coin, but you need to pick the best one in reality. The one with the strongest community, the one with the best branding, the one with the best partnerships, the best team that are pulling it, funding, investments, partners, you know, the list goes on, right? But there is always going to be that one coin that will, the fuck did that go? Blow. It will, and this was one of them that did that. So all the information that you need to get is going to be on the basic websites like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, etc. You need to understand a few metrics though. The supply, how many coins are they, and understand, is it overvalued or undervalued? I.e., there's a lot of coins. When XRP was $3, that was grossly overvalued. Right now we're at 20 cents. Chalk and cheese. So you need to understand what is overvalued, what is undervalued per the supply. Higher the coin supply, lower the price. Lower the coin supply, higher the price, because of scarcity. Simple, simple, simple. So again, how to buy it, all kinds of good stuff. You got all the basic stuff, information overload, right? If you go into socials, you get more data again, as I mentioned before, I Steam it. But with this, it's a bigger coin. You get a lot more information, and you can figure out how it's kind of doing. And most importantly, you've obviously got developer stuff, which is kind of what you need to look at in my view. You need to see how it's kind of doing it, how many contributors there are, how much stuff has happened, how active are they. You don't want to buy into a dead project. That is one thing you do not want to do. Another one here, pretty damn active, right? You know, you can see that, really obvious. You'll see a lot of coins that are completely dead. They've gone bankrupt. Do not invest in those. Top tip. Moving on. You've obviously got ratings. I'm not sure which is this one got. This is, yeah. So these are basically third-party kind of rating companies. So take these with a pinch of salt. There's different variations of these as well. Don't worry about that. But again, this one has got the worst for like token economics because it has such a high coin supply. However, market and opportunity, underlying technology, core team, really quite good. Got a B-. So this sort of helps build a bit of a portfolio in your head of what is kind of good and what is bad. But the main element that you need to find what makes a good investment great is the price. And obviously you've seen my videos in terms of how to kind of set up a chart, how to find the low value elements, and like as an investor go, oh, I can wait for that, bang, off we go. Even if it doesn't go like that and pop off, the chances are in your favor if you've done your research, you understand the project, you've waited and bought low, and you have committed with using funds you cannot, you don't have to live on it. It's fine. It's riskable income. You can literally go, right, I've got $500. I don't mind losing that. I can put that in the markets. Cool. That is a much better and safer approach. Unless you're the sort of person that goes, oh, $500, let's go to the pubs. You can't do that right now, but people are looking at places to do things with their money, and putting into cryptocurrency at certain levels, not right now in my opinion, is a good thing to go. So other things to mention, if you look at markets as well, just to give you a bit of an overview, exchanges matter, right? I know this is crazy, this video. Exchanges matter. Please do your research on exchanges as well. That could be a totally different video as well at some point. Please only go with the big exchanges that have the best possible liquidity, obviously, and they're not using fake volume, right? There's a lot of coins, like stuff on here that you've probably never ever heard of. It's like, what the hell is that? You've probably never heard of them, they're random. And you'll see some coin exchanges and stuff like that that you've heard of, but you're thinking, well, that's really low. It depends if it's using real volume or fake flood volume, essentially. Like, it's annoying. It really is annoying. So be mindful of that. Please do your research on every single exchange you use. Please, again, use your 2FA and all kinds of good stuff. But you also need to figure out what sort of coin are you buying. If you are buying an ERC20 token, which is Ethereum, you can then use my Ether wallet or my crypto, where you can store all the blockchain elements of ERC20, Ethereum blockchain-based tokens only on a certain place. With Ripple, XRP, you've got to download the XRP wallet on external wallets like Exodus or on your ledgers if you've got a ledger or a Trezor. Same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin wallet only. You can't put your XRP in a Bitcoin wallet. You need to understand that. So when you're doing your research, find out what kind of coin is it. And when you know what kind of coin it is, it makes much more sense. Has it got its own element? Is it its own blockchain? Like Cardano, Tron, its own blockchain. VeChain, own blockchain. Whereas you've got Ethereum-led coins, they are ERC20 tokens only. So be wary of that. So we're getting to the end of this video, and I hope you do like it. So please do leave a like. But ultimately, all the information you've got is here. All of it. One thing as well I want to make sure as well, do not invest in a CFD platform. You are going to be trading that, not investing. Underlying asset, you need to understand that. Again, the charting, you can look at that elsewhere. Historical data though, this is, if it works, oh, if it please work. Come on, there we go. Now, historical data is really good. Why? If you start going like a year ago, right, just as an insight, I won't go too deep on this, but if you start looking like where have the prices been, and you're looking at like what this was last June, 42 cents. This gives you also a bearing of is an asset overvalued or undervalued. So if you're investing in an asset that's like 91 cents, but last month it was like 40 cents, you're probably thinking, I'll wait for a pullback. Remember the technical analysis. Remember your support and resistance. Remember the long-term time frames give you a bigger picture. Please make sure you understand that. So that's today's video done. Okay, understand a lot of things. There's a lot of things there. Jump in the community, say hello. Ooh, what's it like? What's the feeling like? If people are like, oh, it's crap because Johnny, the co-founder, is looking at selling his shares, you know, in other companies to get out, etc., or whatever, you're probably thinking, leave that alone. So please do a lot of research. It doesn't take long, but it should be a long, thought-out process. You should have a list, a checklist of like, what is this, what is that. And once you find out all the information that you need to know, and you're like, I like this is pretty cool, I like the technology, I like the team, I think they've got good branding, they've got a good social awareness, you know, it's in my view, it's undervalued, it's on good exchanges, I can easily store it, I can accumulate this, and people will use it because it's got a real use case. You probably think, well, I could probably buy that. There's a lot of coins that fit that box for me, but I've not invested yet. So you don't have to invest in them all. You got to pick the ones that you like the most, buy low, sell high. Top tip though, top tip. If it explodes, right, and say for example you buy XRP at 20 cents and it moons in about 2 weeks to 60 cents, don't be an idiot. Just sell a little bit, take a profit. Even though it's an investment, if you can then take a bit of your capital out that you put in at the start, that's a win. There's no better feeling in my view than having capital working that is not risked. There you go.